Okay, so it's been a while. It's a New Year's Day 2026, and this is where we are with the Accord. So it's fair to say I've not done a great deal over the summer because it was too nice. I had other things to do, but I'm getting back in on this now. So from where we were last time, the back of the car has been welded up. All the holes have been sorted out. I don't know whether I mentioned last time, the tank's off. That's all been restored, refurbished. The underside has all been re-welded, so that's done. I've cut the rear arches out and I've got to tub them yet. I've rebuilt the inside of the fuel filler, which was an absolute mess and disappeared, so that's good. That was quite tricky. I think I've got a little bit of the old one left there, so yeah, that's pretty much what it looked like before. I've currently got the bonnet or hood on the roof, and yes, this work's been going on. I've just kind of, when I felt like coming in and doing a little bit, I've done that. So unfortunately the old radiator is dead. I've got one coming from the States hopefully in the next week or so, so that was kind of custom made. So there's, weirdly enough, for the second gen Accord, there is no radiators available, which I'd not expected. I thought you could pretty much get anything, but Rock Auto have got pretty much everything, but just not stocking these radiators. But yeah, sorted out, managed to get one made up, an aluminium one, so that's really nice. I am keeping the old front wings because I think we can use some of the sections that are good to kind of refabricate inner tubs for the rear arches. So that's a bit weird, but I think that might work, and it'll certainly, with the curvatures, it'll save me kind of spending hours and hours kind of bending that metal and trying to get it to fit. So that's why they're still sticking around. Inside of the car is basically everything that's come out of the engine bay, and we'll get to that in a second. So everything's off at the moment. I've actually just started to put stuff back in. The engine bay is painted, so we've gone for Push Gulf Blue, and the whole car's going to be obviously in this colour. There may be the odd touch of orange as well, but we'll see. But essentially, I just wanted something that would pop a little bit more. The 80s kind of blue greys, which were massively popular with all the Japanese manufacturers in the 80s, just seems a bit drab now, and I think it would be a little bit more exciting with a nice bolder colour. So that's what we've gone for. Having got bored of the bodywork, I decided to move to the engine. So the oil pan is off at the moment. Just checking everything over. Everything's fine. Essentially what had happened is this engine had been leaking from the rocker cover and the sump gasket for years. The whole thing was just absolutely covered in oil, and I think that in some ways it's preserved the underside because so for every cloud there's a silver lining. But I'm just in the process of putting it all back together now. There'll be a new cam belt, water pump, tensioner, usual kind of things. This has done 100,000 miles. It's still absolutely fine. The compression was really good, but I did have a cylinder head gasket leak on cylinder 4, where basically the gasket had lifted and the coolant was pushing underneath because in the water jacket here, this area here had got blocked with gunge from the radiator. So what had actually happened was the coolant was kind of forcing itself under the gasket and coming out around here, where underneath the distributor. So that's all cleaned up. That'll be fixed. Obviously, got new gasket here, head gasket ready to go in. This is going to get all new gaskets and everything. So that's that. That's just the underside brace that I've just painted up. So that's where we are at the moment. The cylinder head is ready to go on. So the cylinder head has had a complete makeover. So we've got the valves on cylinder 4 have got really badly pitted from that coolant sitting there. So that's new valves in there, stem seals, new seals and gaskets throughout. So again, it's just had whatever it needed doing to it. So the stuff that doesn't need to, I'm really not sure whether I'm going to keep this engine long term. It was basically just make it as absolutely fine, and we'll go from there. So the other thing that I've done since then, which was to get a carburetor rebuild kit from Australia, which was the only place to get one from. So we use it's a two barrel single carb on these cars. It's typical Kaihin, which is what Honda tended to use back in the day. So I've sorry about the mess, but yeah, I've rebuilt this. So this has had all new gaskets, new accelerator pump, and it's all good to go. So that's ready to go back on. I've got new, so the alternator's there. I've got new bearings, new brushes and things for that to be done. So that's on the list. The old water pump there is in really poor state. In fact, the bearing on that is completely shot. So it's a good job that I'm changing that out. So you'll still see the wings are in here, and all the bits and pieces to go back in the engine bay. So yeah, there is progress. I know it's been a while, but things are still progressing quite nicely. I've got a plethora of parts now, all new suspension, new brakes front and back. I'm going to do new brake lines, etc. So yeah, this is just going to be a case of chipping away. The car is over 40 years old now, so I can register this as a historic vehicle. But I'm not going to be rushing to get this ready. If it's ready this year, great. If it's not, it's not. It'd be nice to get it out on the road this year, but as in with previous restorations, I have given myself deadlines and kind of pushed a bit too hard, and it's taken the joy out of doing these things. So I think having the opportunity just to kind of dip in when I feel like it is hopefully what will keep my interest with this car. And I think it's going to be, it's going to be a nice little thing to have when it, excuse me, a nice thing to have when it's done. So that's where we are. Yeah, it might look a little bit of a lot of a mess in here, but it's one of those. I'm at the point now where it's at the worst. Hopefully, it's at the worst it can get, and everything's kind of scattered around. But I'm used to working in small spaces, so it's all good. But it perhaps looks worse than it actually is. But this is just the start of the reassembly, which I particularly enjoy, and we'll get back onto those rear arches and those rear tubs as soon as the engine bay is back together. But yeah, that's where we are. And like I say, this is New Year's Day on 2026, and maybe we'll see this back on the road this year, but we'll see. I'll see you on the next one.